Hello and welcome to the Krafty Kristina YouTube channel. My name is Kristina. This is not a podcast. Why did I open it like that? I have a very special new type of video for this channel. I was thinking about a way that would be enjoyable for me to come back, a way that would be, I guess, a little more personal, so you could see a little bit what my day-to-day life is like. I really enjoyed doing Vlogmas last year. I love podcasting, but a way for me to connect with all of you more would be to do a more traditional style knitting vlog. So that is what we're doing today. I have a lot of extra opportunities to knit this week than I normally would, so I thought I would take you along with me and show you what I can realistically knit in 1 week's time, 7 days. Very quickly before we start today, I wanted to show you where I'm at with some of my projects. First of all, I'm at a place where I have some decent stock in it in the round, which I'm hopeful I'll be able to cruise through during some weird meetings I don't need to be on camera for this week. And what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to pick, maybe let's do green because it's kind of bright. I'm going to pick a green light bulb marker and I'm going to put it exactly where I started. So next week at this time, we can see how much progress I've made. So I'm going to stick one on every project. So first are these socks. This is this ear warmer. I honestly was really motivated to work on these for a while, but I'm not right now. But I don't really have that much left, I feel like, and they're pretty quick, so I'd love to finish this. And finally, this is really the thing I want to finish the most this month. It's just getting longer and longer and more stitches as I work on it. But look how beautiful it is. I can't wait for this to be done. I don't know, maybe I'm like halfway, but there's gonna be like 300 stitches when I'm done, I think, and maybe I'm close to like 200 now, but I'll put a little green marker on that too. I really want to also try and cast on a Musselburgh for a sweet friend of mine and try again in fingering weight and not like plump weight like I did before and make an oopsie hat. So let's get into the knitting. So it is a little bit after 4 o'clock and I've been working since 8:30 and it's always this time in my day where I am trying so hard to just push through the last like almost hour of my work day. The last hour is the hardest. I did like 20 rounds today in just like spare knitting time. So, you know, every little stitch counts. I've been doing a new focus method that I found accidentally a couple of weeks ago, but it has really been helping me out with my workload. I went from kind of doing the job of 3 people that now I'm kind of onboarding a couple of people to do some of my responsibilities. Now I'm doing the job of 2 people. But even still, back to school season is pretty crazy for my role now, and I'm working with and talking with a lot of people on top of my normal day-to-day responsibilities. And when I say a lot of people, it's external people outside of the organization that come to me that need support or resources, and so that is what I provide for them. I do community engagement and outreach. So I accidentally found this playlist. I'll link it in the description actually, but it's a focus method called the Pomodoro method, and I am obsessed. It's basically you set a timer for 25 minutes, and you focus and you only do work for 25 minutes, and then you have to force yourself to take a 5-minute break. The video that I use, it's 30-minute focus sessions with 5-minute breaks. And I have found that it really does keep me focused. And I find myself surprised with how much I can actually accomplish in a 30-minute time. And I find myself trying to beat the timer and accomplish more, and forcing myself to take the break that is not just like get up and have a drink of water or like run to the bathroom. Like, you're supposed to do something enjoyable in those 5 minutes to truly give yourself a brain break. It's supposed to help with like long work or study sessions and like your brain focus and your endurance to do so. And so I try to sneak in 5 minutes of knitting if I don't need like a snack or a drink or something. So you'll probably see a couple more sessions. I've been doing this religiously every single day, all day long for like the last 2 weeks, and my productivity has like doubled. There are times where I went to work where I was like, I have no idea how I had one day I was about to take 6 days of vacation and I had a bunch of deadlines, and I came into work the day before my vacation started. And I was like, I have no idea how I'm going to finish everything on my list. Like, I was physically sick, and I finished everything on my to-do list by 3:30. Anyway, that's one way I'm sneaking in some extra knitting. Good morning. I was going to say it's Wednesday, but it's definitely Thursday. Little update on my realistic what I knit in a week. I don't think I touched my knitting yesterday. I brought it with me, but my day just didn't really go as I planned. I had some things and some meetings that I was definitely sitting in on, but I was sort of multitasking, and I didn't really have a chance to grab for anything. And then by the end of the day, I was just toast, so wasn't knitting at all. But I wanted to share that I am ready for the toe. I just sat in on a meeting that was about 45 minutes long, and I think I maybe knit 20 rounds in that 40 minutes. And so I've switched to Magic Loop. I've got 2 other meetings today. One of them I have to be on camera for, so I was kind of hoping that I could do some vanilla knitting, but I finished my vanilla knitting, so I might not be able to knit during that, but I can definitely knit during the other meeting when I'm camera off, so that'll be exciting. Hopefully I'll finish the sock today. That'd be really awesome, and then I will almost certainly immediately cast on the cuff for the next one and work through that. So hopefully I can have plenty of vanilla knitting for tomorrow. I've got a couple of meetings too that I should have some extra knitting time for, and then it'll be the weekend, so we'll see how much I get done. I made an oopsie or 3 on my NYX shawl, but I have just fudged through it, and I think it looks fine. I don't really think you can tell, but I finished. I'm annoyed with myself. I finished a section 2 rows early and ended up with 3 extra stitches than I needed. So I'm just going to go into the next section, get myself back on track, and like make up for those 3 extra stitches and just call it a day. So we'll see what happens, but as long as my stitch count is correct, like I think everything will line up. And I've noticed that my mistakes aren't truly that noticeable, and I've got an edge that's a little awkward, but I think when I block it, I'll be able to just block it out, and you won't see that I did too many decreases in one section, which is a whole other story. I'll talk about it on the next podcast, but for now, super happy that I am ready for a toe. Hello, it's Friday, and I am so unmotivated. I am so unmotivated today. I have just finished catching up on my work emails from overnight, and I made my to-do list for the day. I made a consolidated to-do list of all the other random crap that I have to do and remember to do, but I don't have time to finish today. I'm so happy it's Friday. I am just a few minutes from putting on my little focus video that I've been talking about. But before I do that, I just wanted to share where I'm at and tell you my goal for today. I got to the toe yesterday. Oops, it's kind of tangled. I got to the toe yesterday on this lady-in-law sock, but I didn't work on it. So I'm going to see how much knitting I can actually get done today using the 5-minute breaks for knitting time in my little focus thing. I'll actually, if I haven't said it, I'll link the channel that I've been watching down below. I've shared it with a couple of my friends and a few of my colleagues, and one of them texted me yesterday and said they have never accomplished so much in one workday before, so it was really like validating, but also I'm so happy other people are experiencing this like extra productivity too. So I'm gonna try and work on this today and finish the toe in my 5-minute increments, and then if I finish that, I don't know if I'm going to cast on the second sock. I probably just should. I'm starting to get a little bit nervous that I'm not going to finish my Knix shawl before October 6th, when the first Twists and Turns West Knits Make Along, Mystery Knit Along clue comes out. I did some math last night. I made too many oopsies on that shawl in a row, and I've just been trying to correct them. And so as the shawl grows, I get slower and slower knitting a row. So I did some math, and I need to knit like 10 rows a day or something to finish by the end of September. So I don't know. I'm curious to see what happens if I work on this sock, finish it, and then use the rest of my 5 minutes to like get through that, or if I should use those 5 minutes to sock knit and then use the rest of my time. Why am I so indecisive? And then use like the rest of my 5-minute breaks to keep working on this, or to finish my headband. That's what I should do. Maybe I should do that. I think I've just convinced myself I'm going to focus on finishing this sock. I'll probably cast on the cuff, and then I'm going to switch to finishing that ear warmer in my next couple of days of 5-minute breaks or car knitting or whatever. I think I'll keep this for my easy knitting. I might cast on a Musselburgh. I really need to finish that headband in at least one sock, and then I'll cast on the Musselburgh and get it to a place where I can have vanilla knitting, and maybe that'll be my 5 minutes of knitting next week. Could be a good goal. You guys, I've relocated to the couch. It's a little bit after 1 o'clock. I took my lunch break a little over an hour ago, and I have been losing steam ever since. I had a really, really productive morning, which was awesome. And I accomplished more than 50% of my to-do list for today in the first, I don't know, 2.5 hours of my morning. And that's been really great, but I'm really starting to lose focus. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I moved to the couch to get comfy because the rest of the things I need to do today don't really require me to be at my desk. So I'm going to sit here and do some sock knitting on my 5-minute break. I don't really know how far I've gotten on this. I haven't been counting or anything. I've just been doing it. I found as I get my decreases done, I'm usually able to do 2 full rows. So a decrease row and an actual, like, just knit row. Every 5 minutes, so that's pretty good. So ready for 5 o'clock. I'm debating on whether or not to make an afternoon cup of coffee. I've been trying to keep myself away from that because I've been having a hard time falling asleep at night. It's just like I get in bed, and even though my body's tired, my brain just won't stop thinking about all the things that I want to do. My gardening, my knitting, things I want to do to organize the house, new workouts I want to try. I mean, I'm just dreaming up the world when I get in bed. And then I lay there and I just, like, I don't know, I just can't stop thinking. And I guess it's good. Like, it's not stuff that's worrying me. It's just how much I, like, want to continue doing in my life that's outside of work. So I don't know. I'm just so excited to do new things. And being in this new spot is really just, it's just been such a game changer. I'm so happy here. And I have so much zest for life, which is great. And I'm just, I feel silly, but I'm just happy to, be able to feel that way again. I'm just so grateful. Life is good. Hello, happy Saturday. I did some knitting on this sock this morning, and I'm ready to Kitchener the toe. But Zach and I are planning to drive to have dinner and then meet my parents and my sister for ice cream afterwards at an ice cream place that closes for the season soon afterwards. And so we've got like an hour and a half in the car both ways. So I'm going to hold off on Kitchenering this, and I'm actually going to start, I cast on, but I need to get the ribbing going on this. So I'm going to cast on and hopefully get through some of the cuff for some easy car knitting. Hey there, it is Sunday, and I haven't really done a whole lot of knitting today. I got, I don't know, a couple more rounds done on the mate of my sock, which I cast on and got through the cuff and like 15 rounds in to the leg yesterday, just in the car. Half of it was in the dark, so pretty proud of myself for that. But right now I'm actually going to pick up this skein of fingering weight yarn and prepare to cast on and get to the part where you like measure your gauge for a Musselburgh hat for my friend Megan. Megan and I have been friends since, I mean, we went to school together. I think we even went to preschool together. So we really grew up together. And earlier this year, she found out that she had leukemia. So I asked her if I could knit her something to keep her warm. And she said she would love a hat. And I sent her a picture of my stash and told her any skein of yarn she could have, I'd knit her a hat. And so this is the color that she chose. She's like, I love that purple. I'm like, I know, me too. It's beautiful. So this is the Crazy Sock Ladies colorway from Kimber's Cozy Creations. And so I really want to get through at least like the beginning until it's like stockinette in the round. I want to try and get there tonight. I don't really know how long that's going to take me, but we will see how it goes. But that's my goal, and then that way I'll have some serious stockinette in the round for miles and miles and miles this week, where I have yet again another week of a lot of meetings where I can afford to knit without looking. So I really want to make sure that I have that, and then if and when I get through that, I probably will work on my shawl. But for now, this is what I'm focusing on caking up, and I'm hopeful. I will leave a link. Megan actually has a GoFundMe right now, and so I will leave a link in my description. She needs a little extra love and support from anybody and everyone right now. So if you want to read a little bit more about her story, I'll leave that link down below. Good morning. Happy Monday, my friends. It is the second to last day of my realistic what I knit in a week. And I wanted to show you my progress from the weekend because I haven't really done that. First is this sock. I have the Kitchener left, which will take me, I don't know, 5 minutes maybe to complete, but I got through essentially the entire cuff and all but 5 rounds of the leg on this in the car on Saturday when we were driving to see my parents and then driving to come home. A lot of this was done in the dark, I think I mentioned, so pretty proud of myself for that. This sock is going to continue to be what I work on as I continue the Pomodoro method, so hopefully I can finish that this week. The other thing I wanted to show you is I cast on a Musselburgh hat with this gorgeous yarn for my friend Megan, and I got to the point where I could measure my gauge, and I'm measuring 9 stitches per inch right now. So if you're a Krafty Kristina veteran and you remember my first and only Musselburgh hat, it was a huge flop, a big oopsie, and so I'm a little nervous. I've got a little bit of PTSD from that, but I decided to do fingering weight for a couple of reasons. First, it's because that's the color that Megan picked, but second, I've noticed a lot of people have more success doing fingering weight hats, and so I want to have success, obviously, in this pattern this time, but I wasn't quite sure what needle size to use. The pattern instructs to go up a couple of sizes from what you would normally knit with it. Does that, what? You know what I mean. So fingering weight, I normally do socks on a size US 1. So I went up to a 2 for this, and I'm still measuring a little too tight. So I don't know, I found that I'm tighter in the round, but I'm feeling like a normal knitter. So for example, if I do a sweater and the yoke is knit flat, I usually size down a needle size to kind of get gauge. And then I knit with the recommended needle size for the stockinette. But it's looking like I'm tighter here, and this is a size 2, but I don't have smaller, I'm on a break. I don't have smaller circular needles, so I ordered both a size 3 and a size 4 on Amazon first thing this morning, so they both should be here tomorrow. So I think honestly what I'm going to do is knit a couple of more rounds on this teeny tiny hat just to double check and make sure that I am actually measuring 9 stitches per inch, which is too many for what I need to get for a nice hat. And if that's the case, then I'm going to frog this and start over on a size 3 and see what that looks like. And then if that doesn't work, then I'm going to frog and start over on a size 4. And my goal is by the end of today to be ready to insert those needles that come tomorrow in whatever size gets the gauge that I need. I've got 4 meetings tomorrow, at least 3. I've got at least 3 meetings tomorrow that I should be able to stockinette knit in the round without looking. So I want to get this hat to a place that I can just knit in those meetings and see where I go. So this hat will then become my I can afford to knit mindlessly project for my meetings. I'll keep my socks as my Pomodoro 5-minute break socks until they are finished. I will switch to the ear warmer, which I've worked on 0, once those are finished, and then from there I'm just going to be focusing on my next shawl, and those are kind of my goals to get it all done this month, and or get it all done before October 6th when the West Knits MCAL clue is released. Hey there, it is Tuesday. It's been a week since I started this what I can realistically knit in a week video vlog, and it's the last day. Here's what I have to show you. This cutie Musselburgh. This took me approximately 7,000 tries. Oh my god, I almost just dropped it. Could you imagine? It's Tuesday night. It's 5:10. I have a virtual community engagement event tonight for my knot knitting job, and it is going to be about, I don't know, at least an hour, probably an hour and a half of me just sitting while the people present. I'm going to see how far I get on this Musselburgh. I ended up needing to use a size 4 needle. So my needles came today. I got my gauge. I mean, look, you don't want to see my mug this close, but look how beautiful this is. I'm so excited. So anyway, I put a little marker right here. This is the inside, but you know what I mean. So we will see how far I get in that meeting thing, sorta, on my Musselburgh. I'm going to keep it moving forward for my meeting knitting. But before we close out this video, I'm going to jump to future Kristina, where she will show you what we actually realistically knit in 1 week with a person who has a crazy social life and an insane full-time day job.